What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I'm sharing a small home that I built in the world of San Sequoia. It's been a little while, we haven't had this world for that long because it is the world that came with the newest expansion pack. The most recent one, Growing Together, and we all know there is a new one on the way coming out next week. But as of right now, San Sequoia is the most recently added world, the newest world that we have The Sims for, and it's really cute. And it's been a couple weeks, a few weeks, maybe even a few months since I built here. So I was really feeling, just this little area, especially this neighborhood across from the water, because for some reason it sparked inspiration for me that I wanted to add a little trailer with a boat on it next to this house, because the house is so small. We definitely have some space left over on the lot. So the house that I'm building today is just a cute little one-story, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. I didn't really have a specific inspiration storyline-wise for this house, but I came across a little picture of a house on Pinterest. It was a sketch or a painting of a house that I thought was so cute. It was a blue house, and I took inspiration from the curb appeal in that picture. I didn't copy it exactly, but what I really liked about it was the tiny front porch with flowers, and it just looked really cutesy, and I liked the landscaping that they did. So I kind of looked at that and took inspiration from it and turned it into this little build in The Sims, and I'm really happy with how it came out. It is just a small one-story bungalow. Like I said, it's a little one-story home, and it has 2 bedrooms. One of them is in the garage, so you can see that this house has a pretty spacious garage, and then I thought it made sense, especially for gameplay, because we don't have garage, we don't have need of garages in The Sims 4 basically, because we do not have cars. But I thought it would make sense to have a renovated little garage where they turn it into a bedroom for the most part, and then there is still some space for garagey type stuff in the garage. I turned it into a laundry space. I added laundry. But you could turn that into a hobby space, or there is some leftover space if you want to do some extra renovations. If you want to maybe add another bathroom, you could definitely do that in the garage as well. So you can have a bedroom plus bathroom in the garage. I think that would make sense. But for this house, I felt like at this point in their lives, the people living in this house just needed an extra bedroom, so that's what they went with for the garage, basically. And then, like I said, I didn't really build it with a specific storyline in mind household-wise, but I could totally see a single parent and their teenager. The teenager is pretty clear because I did furnish the garage, the bedroom in the garage. I furnished that one for a teenager. I used a lot of high school years items, and you can just really tell that it is supposed to be for a teenager. And then the other bedroom on the opposite side of the house could be for parents. It has a double bed in there that is accessible from both sides. So you could go with the storyline of 2 parents and their teenager, but for some reason, this house for me really gave single parent and their teenager vibes. Or it could be a sibling's house where one of the younger sibling is a teenager and the older sibling is a young adult, almost adult already. So there's a little bit of an age gap between the siblings. Maybe they're half siblings or something, and they're living together in a house. I could totally see that as well. So it's basically just whatever you think this house could be useful for. I think it's really nice for gameplay as well because it is only small. It's 1 story. I personally prefer, when I'm doing gameplay, I prefer 1-story houses over multiple story ones, because it is just so nice to have that overview of your Sims. You can kind of see where everyone is all at the same time when you're just hovering over the house. You never lose them, and also routing around houses can take a fair amount of time, especially if you have a bigger house. So it's just nicer if everyone is on the same level, or everything rather is on the same level and it's not that far from each other. I don't know, I just gameplay wise I prefer that. That's not to say that I don't like building bigger multiple story houses, because I really do. But when it actually comes to gameplay, I really prefer 1-story houses. Let me know if you're the same or if you're different, or maybe it doesn't matter to you at all. And then, yeah, for some reason I felt like this house would be really fun for gameplay too. I feel like it's not overly cluttered. It's also not, well, I was gonna say it's not overly expensive, but it's quite expensive. I think it comes in at just over 60,000 simoleons, maybe even just under 70,000 simoleons. So it's most definitely not cheap. For the size that it is way too expensive, but still, it's nice and cute. And if you're doing like money cheats, then I feel like you should be fine. And then here you can see I was working on a little bit of landscaping. I went into debug and I used some of the bushes from Cottage Living. Cottage Living has one of my, or like a couple of my favorite like landscaping options when it comes to flowers and bushes and things. I just don't always reach for them because for some reason I kind of just forget that it's there. It is just super easy to, it's a habit for me to just use the filters and filter by only base game and then go into debug, because then all the landscaping is just right there. And I know, okay, I know I should be using organized debug because then you can find all the debug plans and like landscaping options in the regular catalog, which if you didn't know that, that is a huge pro tip. Better Build By is, and then especially like Better Build By combined with organized debug is such a lifesaver. But I am so weird in the sense that I have tried organized debug before, but I can't handle the changes that it brings to the catalog. For some reason, my brain is just like, nope, nope, nope. We got to change it back to how it was before because yes, the debug menu is cluttered and difficult to navigate and you're searching for stuff for like 60 million hours before you find it. But I use it so often that I'm like comfortable with it and I kind of know where everything is basically. Like I'm pretty like my muscle memory basically just kind of knows when I'm scrolling, like using my fingers on the mouse to scroll. My muscle memory that just kind of knows where to stop, or like when I see certain objects, I like recognize them and then I'm like, yeah, that one plant is like somewhere near here because I recognize this like weird random debug rock, if that makes sense. Like that is just how my brain works. I think it's like that for everyone, but because I'm so used to how it looks, I never use, or I don't have organized debug turned on, and I really, really, really need to like get over myself, turn it on and get used to it. I know that, so you are allowed to yell at me, but let me know, do you use organized debug? And do you have any, like, do you feel the same? Are there any pro tips for me that I can just like, you know, try to help get used to the changes in the catalog when you turn it on? It's probably just me being very dramatic and like not being able to handle change and just like, you know, being scared of stepping out of my comfort zone. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should really take that jump at some point and turn it on because it's going to make my life so much easier. Anyway, you can kind of see I completely talked over most of the landscaping, but I feel like this landscaping is very, very like cutesy and dreamy and just very nice. I was thinking that at least one of the Sims living here really enjoys gardening. In the front yard, there is some planter pots that I placed, and I placed some like greenhouse greenhouse haven. I don't exactly know what it's called, but the one kit with all the greenhouse stuff, basically, I placed some of those decorations around as well, which I thought was cute. So definitely one of the Sims living here. I was thinking the adult is into gardening. And then the teenager, I later on added a little basketball hoop on the side of the house for the teenager. So I was thinking that the teenager is very active. They like sports. You can kind of see that. You can kind of tell that by their bedroom as well, because I used the high school years items and I chose a lot of the swatches that like supports the school spirit, like the school mascot basically, which kind of then reflects that they are into like the school spirit, but also into like the school sports team, and they're probably part of the school sports team as well. Is what I was thinking. So they are very sporty and yeah, they enjoy working out. So that's kind of what I tried to reflect for the teenager. But then for the adult living in this house, I didn't really reflect anything personality wise other than the farming, or not the farming, the gardening. Yeah, because I don't know, I was just really vibing with this house. I was looking at the picture that I found on Pinterest that I thought was cute. And then when it came to the interior, I was just really vibing with like decorating this place. You can tell that it's more on the modern side of things. I got started here with this like little living room area. I again used the couch and the chairs from the Book Nook kit. I know I need to like calm down and like not use them for a little bit, but the couch is just so good. I love the chairs too, but like especially that couch. It's so, so, so good. I had to use it in here. It was just perfect. It totally fit the vibe. And I was definitely thinking of, if anything, like if this is a single parent and their teenager, I was thinking that they are definitely a young parent. Maybe they had their kid when they were still in high school, or they were still a teenager. So they're definitely a very young family, a very young parent, and maybe they purchased this house. I was thinking that this is the first house that they like purchased and like renovated a little bit. Or maybe they purchased a like flipped home. That's also definitely possible. Maybe this used to be like an older little one-story bungalow here in San Sequoia. Someone purchased it and they flipped it and then sold it to the Sims living in the house right now. I could totally see that being a thing as well. And then the younger parent, they were probably living with their kid, maybe in a very small apartment before, or maybe they were living with their parents before for a very long time. That's also definitely a possibility. And then this is their first like actual house with a little garden, with outdoor space, with space to store their boat, because I was definitely thinking that they used to have a boat before they moved in here as well. It's a little bit of an older boat. It's obviously debug and it's not functional, but I liked that little bit of storytelling that I could, like the story that I could tell by placing the trailer, especially since here in San Sequoia, there's a lot of water. There is a lot of little like harbors around. What is that called? What is the word for that, where you like park your boat basically in the water? Oh my god, I sound so dumb right now. But like a little harbor basically, like a little dock area, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. There's a little dock area right across from this lot, and there is just a lot of water in general and boats around in general in this world. So I was thinking that they are just very much into like going out for like little boat rides, and like in the summertime taking out their boat on the lake or on the ocean around the area. I thought that would be so, so, so cute. So they're definitely boat people, and now that they have a house, they can store their boat next to the house, and also there's a dock right across from the house, so they can like go boat riding very easily. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. A lot of these things are probably getting lost into translation, or lost in translation, but you probably know what I'm trying to say. These people love the water, they love their boat, and that's kind of the story that I try to tell with this house. But for the rest, you can see that this house is pretty small. They have this very nice little kitchen that is, everything looks very renovated, but it doesn't look very like expensive and luxurious, if that makes sense. And that's exactly what I was going for this house as well. Like I said, it's flipped probably, but it's not like using only very expensive appliances and very expensive like furniture and stuff like that. It's just very neutral and nice, and it feels bright and airy. And I love the warmth, by the way, that this floor brings. This floor is very like yellowish orangey. It's also probably because of my reshade that I'm using. I love the vibe that this floor has when using this specific reshade. It just looks very nice and warm and like almost kind of peach toned. And it's such a nice, warm, neutral color to add to the house. I feel like it really warms it up because I'm using a lot of gray walls. As you can see, a lot of gray and white, and using gray counters in the kitchen as well. But then the countertop is more of like a beigey warm tone again. So using a lot of neutrals in here. And also in the bathroom, I'm using the tiles on the floor, and also for the wallpaper that came with the Growing Together pack, which is like a very nice and modern set of tiles. I feel like it just feels very nice and modernized and renovated and like recently added basically. And yeah, that's basically the vibe that I was going for, like a new house that they only recently moved into, but not too expensive, if that makes sense. So let me know what you think. So here we're working on the parents or older siblings room, but I'm definitely more gravitating towards single parents room. So this room is only small, and this room is off of a little hallway leading you into the bathroom and also into this bedroom. So for the teenager, it's a little bit more inconvenient, but that is realistic, I feel like, because this house is renovated. So their house or their room is in the garage, and there's no bathroom there. So if they need to like use the toilet or use the bathroom at night, they have to walk over all the way to the little bathroom here in the house. But that is just how it is. Thankfully, the house is only small. In The Sims, they won't have an issue with that whatsoever because it is The Sims. Sims and they don't really care about that kind of stuff. But I feel like it's realistic. But that being said, like I said, in the garage, there is space for an extra small bathroom, maybe even just a half bathroom could also be a thing. But there's definitely space for that, especially if you choose to remove the laundry. But even then, even with the laundry, I feel like you could very easily add a small bathroom with laundry and just a shower and then just a toilet and a sink, of course. That is definitely possible. But this is the full bathroom, and I'm using, of course, the furniture or the plumbing set that came with Growing Together because it just goes so nicely with this house, and I'm obsessed with the shower tub combo. I can't stop using it. Same goes for that couch that I'm using from the Book Nook kit. That couch and the furniture set from Growing Together, I can't stop using it. I also feel like it just goes so well together. It's all very modern and just cutesy and a little bit like less old-fashioned looking compared to some of the stuff that we have in the game, basically. But here you can see we have the garage. The garage isn't, well, it's functional in the sense that we have laundry in here, so that makes it functional. And I actually also added a little arts corner into the garage after I quickly placed this basketball hoop because I came across it and I was like, yes, we need to add that. I feel like that is such a fun activity that I need to use more often because it's so realistic and it's just very cute and a lot of fun to do during gameplay as well. Though that being said, I feel like my Sims always cancel everything I tell them to do to go play basketball whenever I do play the game and I have a basketball hoop because it doesn't happen very often. But when I do, I do remember my Sims always canceling out their activities that I line up for them, and then they go out and play basketball because they love it so much. And you know, I don't blame them. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I live in the Netherlands. Basketball isn't as big here as it is in the States, I feel. But still, it's such a cute little thing to add. But here you can see we're working on the teenager's bedroom, and I did give the teenager their own little TV and gaming station or like console, which might be a little bit spoiled. It's very expensive, but I was definitely thinking that they do have a job and they worked for it and they probably purchased it themselves because maybe before they only had a very, very small bedroom in the house where they were living previously or in the apartment they were living previously. And now that they have their own bedroom, ever since they knew they were going to move into a house, maybe they started saving up for like a console and a TV so that they could purchase that for themselves and like set it all up in their own little bedroom. I felt like that was really cute. But they have a dresser, and then I also gave them a desk setup so they can sit here and do their homework. This is also where I placed a computer. I think I placed a laptop. So basically all the expensive technology stuff is in the teens room. Because I felt like it makes sense. They probably need to have the laptop for school. And then, like I said, for the parent, I didn't really have a specific job or career or storyline in mind, other than they were probably a very young parent. But they probably do have a job that requires them going into the office full time. So I wasn't thinking that they would work from home, which is why I didn't add like an office space or anything in this house. But I did make sure to place a laptop for gameplay. It's just in the teenager's room. And for the rest of the teenager's room is very nicely cluttered. I was gonna say not overly so, but definitely a little bit overly so. Yeah, it's a little bit cluttered, but in a way that I feel like it makes sense for a teenager. And I feel like this teenager is very much into sports. And I was also thinking that they're into gaming, like I explained with the console and stuff. And also I feel like they're very serious about their education. I think they're maybe, I don't know, maybe already like a junior in high school at this point, and they're very serious about going to college at some point because maybe their parent never got to go to college and they really want to like make their family proud and like go to college and, be successful in that sense. Not that the parent isn't successful, but you know what I mean. I feel like this teenager would be very excited about going to college, like that whole experience. But for the rest, their bedroom is nice and cluttered. It's very blue and yellow and matchy-matchy, but I feel like it turned out really, really cute. And then for the rest, we have this very small little backyard. Well, it's actually not that small. The house is pretty small on the lot, so we definitely have some space left over, like for activities and things. So I added a grill out here, an outdoor bin, and also a dining table so you can have some nice like summer dinners outdoor. You can do some grilling and just hang out outside. We also have a full-on seating area outdoors, as well as some extra planter pots and things. So I was definitely thinking that at least one of the Sims, probably the adult, is very much into gardening. Maybe because now that they have a house, they have a backyard where they actually have space to do gardening. Maybe they were always into gardening, but they were in an apartment and they didn't really have space for it, other than maybe a little bit of space on their tiny balcony, something like that. But I can totally imagine them being very excited about finally having like a backyard where they have space for planter pots and they can go all wild with their gardening. So that's kind of like a little adventure that they're on right now, like on an adventure trying to figure out gardening and like going through some trial and error as well. I could totally see that. And with that, we actually did come up with a nice storyline while looking at this build. Even though I didn't really have one before, I feel like we have one now, so that's really cute. And then we have a nice little basketball area here off to the side of the house, as you can see, and then just some additional landscaping and some additional plants all around. But that is basically going to be it for the speed build portion of the video. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. I feel like especially this front part is my favorite part. I think it's very like cutesy and dreamy with all the plants everywhere, and this little gardening area in the front yard I think is so cozy. Of course, if you want to actually use these planter boxes, these ones in front, you're gonna have to go through like remove the sunflowers, but that's a very easy fix. Then we also have the debug car and boat parked here on the side of the house. I think that's such a cute little story addition. And then here on the side, we obviously have the fake garage door, and I parked a couple of bikes as well. Then we have an entrance into the backyard here where we have a basketball hoop set up, some gardening pots as well, and then, oh, a woodworking bench, of course, I added that as well. And then we just have a nice hangout area here with a dining table and like a seating area and stuff, and some loungers, of course, and more planter boxes. Then inside we have this tiny little entryway with your regular entryway clutter basically, and an archway leading into the living, dining, kitchen, which is all in one open space. My blinds did get deleted, but that was my bad. I used tool mod and then I snapped them to the windows, which I think causes them to like get deleted. You can use tool mod, but then you can't snap them to the window. I believe that's what's happening. But that's okay. You can easily just place those back. Then for the rest here, we have this little living room. We have my Play Detector Sim just watching some TV, as you can see. I really like this area. The space is a little like weirdly shaped, but I feel like everything fits very snuggly. And then over here in the middle of the space, basically we have the dining table and then a kitchen over here. It's only a small little kitchen, but everything is functional. We have like a fridge here off to the side with a bin kind of hidden, tucked away on the side of the fridge. Then over here we have this tiny little hallway with a bookcase to make it functional. And then here is the parents' bedroom. Very neutral in color scheme, but I really like the touch of like blue or teal. I don't really know, like sea foam. I don't really know what to call this color, but I feel like it's cute. They have a wardrobe and then just like an end table here with some stuff on it and some space for family pictures. And then over here is a nice bathroom, very like basic, but I feel like it looks very modernized and cute. Then over here on the other side of the house is, first of all, the garage with the laundry space, which I think turned out really nice. We have some storage here. And then we also have a little art corner for whoever is into painting in this household. And then last but not least is the teens room, which is very colorful compared to the rest of the house, but I really like that. They finally have a space where they can like express their style and their favorite colors. So I feel like that is really fun for them. It's just nice and cluttered, and they have their own little desk set up as well. But that is basically it for this house. So this cute 2-bedroom home is up on the gallery. Weirdly, it's flagged as custom content, but I'm really not using any custom content. So I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it's a glitch, but I shouldn't be using any custom content. I don't even have any CC in my game other than the OMSP shelf. So unless I left that one somewhere in, I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, it's flagged as using custom content. I'm so sorry. I did build it on a 30 by 20. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and it comes in at just over 66,000 simoleons. So yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but that's okay. But that's gonna do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmarySims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!